Hello everyone, welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, and this is the big video where I'm going to be previewing day 3 of the Aintree Grand National Festival, and I will also be giving you my final selection for the big race, which will be the Grand National tomorrow. It's the People's Race, and you'll ultimately want to find out what is my best bet for the race. If you haven't seen my Grand National special that I uploaded a few days ago, I'd definitely go and recommend to go and check it out. I've gone through all the stats and facts to try and help you find the profile of the winner, and I give you my top 3 selections as well. And also as well, if you don't know anything about racing and you're watching my videos for the first time, I've tried to present it in a way with a few facts that you might be able to hopefully understand. If not, just ignore the video, but hopefully I can give you a few pointers in that video as well. And also as well, I just mention it about that video, I did make a false statement that Willie Mullins has never won the Grand National. He won it back in 2005 with Hedgehunter, but the kind of impression I was trying to get across that he hasn't won the race in God knows how long, but he has won it in his career. So enough of me waffling on about that. We'll get stuck straight into tomorrow's horse racing action, and we go to the 145 to kick us off tomorrow. And I'm going to go with a horse called Now Mcginty, trained by Stuart Edmonds, who's had a very good season, got quite a few good horses in his stable at the moment. And Tom O'Brien takes the ride tomorrow. He's been in the winner's enclosure in recent weeks, so good jockey book in there. Now this horse is 2 from 2 at the moment from its last 2 runs, and both those runs have been at Warwick, where it's been put up £25 by the handicapper, but it's done it in very impressive style, beating some not bad horses along the way. Not the best horses in the world, but horses that were off a fair enough mark, and he did it very comprehensively. So I thought Now Mcginty was a very good each way bet tomorrow, and with numerous bookmakers paying multiple places in the first race, I thought you could do a lot worse than him. Also as well, he likes to go from the front and he should handle conditions, and that's something I've noticed at Aintree over the last 2 days. You need to be towards the front of the race, prominent, and also as well be able to handle the ground. It's been a real slog for the horses, and he ticks both those boxes, and I thought there could still be a lot more improvement for him to come with his rich vein of form he's been in. So Now Mcginty for me in the first race tomorrow at Aintree. The second selection is in the 225. I'm going for Western Ryder, currently priced about 8 to 1 with bookmakers at the moment, trained by Warren Greatorex. Dickie Johnson takes the ride, current champion jockey tomorrow. Now he had a good win today, Dickie Johnson, for Kaylee Willicott aboard Layla. It was an emotional victory, as unfortunately we lost Richard Willicott this year, so it was very emotional scenes there with Layla today, but he did the job well. He's got a winner at the festival, and I think he's got a good chance of getting a winner here tomorrow with Western Ryder. This horse was 6th in the Supreme, where it was a little bit unlucky. He might not have won the Supreme at the Cheltenham Festival, but he might have made the frame. He was hampered, but he was running a good race after being a little bit disappointing in the Ailsworth. But you know what? I think Western Ryder could be forgiven that run in the Ailsworth, and he should handle conditions tomorrow. And I thought at a price at 8 to 1, he was a player in this race tomorrow. And from an each way perspective, if you wanted to bet on him, I think he could go very well. Black Hop might have just had a bit of a hard race against Sam Crow. I'm not sure about how on the blind side will be after withdrawing and missing the Cheltenham Festival. He might go well fresh, but it remains to be seen what he can do. But for me, I thought Western Ryder was a good each way bet tomorrow, and he's going to be the second selection in this video previewing the Aintree Grand National Festival tomorrow. The next selection then is in the 3 o'clock for the next race. We go with Lady Buttons here. It's around about 6 to 1 with bookmakers at the moment, trained by Coole Cody, who again has been in fine form this season. Adam Nicol takes a ride. He's been riding fairly well this season as well. This horse is 2 from 2 over the chase obstacles. It won very easily last time at Newcastle, and that Newcastle form, even though it's not the greatest race in the world, there has been some good form to come out that race. The horse that finished second in that race has run another good race, finishing second, and the horse that finished 4th of Mickey Hammond's Applause has subsequently won at Wetherby. So the form of that race doesn't look too bad, and Lady Buttons had been running over in Ireland in the winter and ran with some good credit there. So I thought Lady Buttons tomorrow around about 6 to 1 could be a player. Also as well, Petit Mouchoir, I might be against that horse. I think it might have had just a bit of a too hard run in the Arkle, and I'm going to be against that selection tomorrow with Petit Mouchoir going with Lady Button. So that's the selection in the 3 o'clock. In the 3:40 tomorrow we go with a horse called Bells of Ailsworth. Again, quite a tough race, going to be a tough day at the festival tomorrow, but hopefully a few of these horses can go well for you. This selection's around about 16 to 1 bookmakers at the moment, trained by Tim Vaughan, Welsh trainer, but he knows how to train some winners. Also as well, Alan Johns takes a ride, who's not a bad jockey. This horse has been running quite well this season, and last time we saw it, it finished 3rd at Taunton behind a horse called Regal Flow, which went on to win the Midlands Grand National, and that is quite a good piece of form, I thought. And one thing we know about this horse, it will stay all day. Also as well, it handled the conditions, and before that run at Taunton, it won very comprehensively at Bangor-on-Dee in very good style. So I thought tomorrow, Bells of Ailsworth, he could be a good each way bet in the 3:40, and he's going to be my selection in the 4th race at Aintree tomorrow. The next selection is then in the 4:20. Now I'm going for a massive outsider here, or I don't think it should be an outsider anyway, but the price suggests it's an outsider. It's Coole Cody for Michael Blake and Tom Scudamore tomorrow. Currently priced around 40 to 1 with bookmakers at the moment. It's 4 from 9 over hurdles, and last year it was in cracking form, and last time we saw it, it won a very good handicap at Cheltenham, being a 25 to 1 shock winner on the day, but he had some good form and he can go well fresh. He has had a layoff since that race at Cheltenham, and he's been away from the race tracks. But he did win at Newton Abbot after quite a bit of time off from the racetrack. So we know he can go well fresh. He handles the conditions, and it's in his breeding as well to stay the trip. And I thought tomorrow he could go really well, and he's going to be my selection tomorrow in this 4:20. Coole Cody for me at 40 to 1. I know it's 40 to 1, but I'm just putting it out there each way. I think he's got a good chance. Now, it's the big one, the big selection for the Grand National, and I'm going to go with Milansbar for Bryony Frost and Neil King. Now, if you don't know, I'm doing a sports broadcast journalism degree at Southampton Solent University. Got a strong interest in horse racing, done placement with at the races and that, and I've just been out and about recently doing some uni work, and I was at Taunton yesterday and I had to do like a match report, and Bryony Frost was there, and I managed to interview her, and I had a really nice little chat with her about a winner and a little word on Milansbar and what it's like to be riding in the Grand National tomorrow, and she really gave me a really good impression. And Milansbar had been on my radar before that run when I saw her at Taunton yesterday, but Milansbar, I think, has got a really good chance. It's never been round Aintree over the Grand National fences, but I think that's a good angle to come in from. A lot of horses that do well in the Grand National have never seen the fences before in their life, and they sometimes can take to it, so I thought that was a positive there. Also as well, it ran a fairly good race in the Midlands National last time out, finishing in 2nd place, and then before that it won the Bedfret Classic Chase, which won for Arthur, the winner of last year's Grand National, won this year. So really, it's gone along the right paths to be a Grand National horse. It's going to be carrying a nice low weight tomorrow, below the 11 stone. And with Bryony Frost riding some very good races this year, especially over the longer distances as well. That's something that I think maybe is sometimes overlooked. I think jockeys that maybe do well in longer races can always do well in longer races, if that makes sense. They always continue their good form in the longer races. And this jockey, Bryony Frost, who I absolutely admire, won the Badger Ales Chase. She's had a good relationship with Black Horton, who runs over 3 miles, so she knows how to tactically do very well in this race. And I thought if she can get a prominent position early on, this horse Milansbar could go very well, and I thought a 33 to 1 with numerous bookmakers playing multiple places, and what a great story it would be. Kind of my head and my heart are in the same place in this one. Milansbar will be my big selection for the big race tomorrow. Anyway, we end up tomorrow with a conditionals race, and we're going with a horse here that I think is probably a cracking bet, and probably the best bet on the card tomorrow, and that's William of Orange in the last race. Now, this horse is trained by Donald McCain, who's had a fantastic season. Ryan Day takes the ride tomorrow, taking £3 off. Now, last time we saw William of Orange, I tipped it up for the punting channel I work for called the Punters Page, and it won in very good style that day, having its first run since having a wind up, and the wind up probably definitely made a difference. It won in cruising style at Haydock by quite a few lengths under Lorca Murta, and you got the impression there was a lot more to come, and I thought William of Orange tomorrow, and he had consistent form going into that. 14 to 1 was a good each way bet, and I could definitely see making the frame. He wasn't put up too much for that victory, only £8. Still going to be carrying a nice low weight tomorrow. We'll know he handled the conditions, and for me, William of Orange will be the final selection to round off the Aintree Grand National Festival for this year. So they're the selections for tomorrow. Let me know what you'll be backing tomorrow. If there's any other thing I haven't mentioned, please leave your comments in the comments box below. Also as well, what you're going for in the big race tomorrow. Also as well, please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. Also as well, you can follow me on Twitter at LuckyLoaders15. That's all I've got to say. Please gamble responsibly, and we'll be seeing you soon.